tight. You're watching the Bolt Grand National Series.
Ready? Green, green, green.
Only on Legends Racing Network.
We're live here at Homestead, Miami. We're race number 3 in the Bolt Racing League. Qualifying wrapping up right now. Nick Hapiak on pole position for tonight's race. 100 laps here at the 1.5 mile track. 150 miles. And Bobby Blauer was second, our last week's winner. He had a 5-point penalty though due to the incident on the last lap with him and Cole Snyder. But he still kept the win at Phoenix last week, but qualifying wrapped up right now as the drivers finishing up their last few laps here. And should be almost done here as we have a few drivers on the racetrack still. DJ Trout on the racetrack as, oh, there we go. Qualifying is over. And Nick Hapiak on pole position for tonight's race as gridding is underway right now. As like I said, it's going to be 100 laps here at the 1.5 mile track in Homestead, Miami Speedway, located in the great state of Florida. Well, there we go, drivers gridding right now as she sees number 6 machine Nick Hapiak on that pole position. And let's take a quick look at our starting order for tonight's race. On pole position, Nick Hapiak, like I said, and the 6 machine, 32.410 and 24 thousandths between the top 2 drivers. Bobby Blowers in second, last week's winner at Phoenix. On second row, inside lane, DJ Trout and John Matthews alongside him in in fourth. Francis Llewellyn in fifth, Donnie Knight sixth, Brennan Stout seventh, Rodney Ames eighth, Michael Morgan ninth, David Anderson 10th, Brian Earnhardt 11th, and Lane Myers in 12th. Reggie Floyd in 13th, Jimmy Melnick in 14th, Tristan Bayer in 15th, Leonard Williams in 16th, and last row on the grid, Frank Hughes Jr. in 17th place, rounding out the field. That's going to be your starting lineup as pace car lights are off. It's going to go into this, I believe it will go in, I think it's sunset, I believe, time of day, but 50% fuel for tonight's race, so these guys will have about 9 gallons in the tank here. I think it's 9.5 to be exact, 9.4 around there. As there we go, gridding has been completed. 2 drivers not gridding, Leonard Williams and Frank Hughes. As here we go, pace car about to pull off.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
As we got one more lap to the pace field. And we're going to take a quick break while they do that, while they start gridding, and we'll be right back for the green flag. we're back live here at Homestead as pace car lights are off, going green this time by Nick Capiak on the inside lane, our pole sitter. Should be a good one here. I'm guessing with the 50% fuel, about 3 pit stops and overall on the race, 3 or 4 pit stops. And well, now let's take a quick look at your weather right before we go green here. Very nice day at Homestead. 77 degree air temp, an 81 degree track temp, and it's 7:34 Eastern time on June 29th. So exactly today's date. That should go into night, possibly, maybe close to sunset, but about to go green this time by. And pace car is off. And green flag is out, and we're racing here at Homestead. Nick Capiak on the inside lane. And actually, Bobby Blauer is to the back, actually, due to the incident last week at Homestead. It's going to be DJ Trout behind Nick Capiak on the outside him. Is John Matthews. There's a 3 wide for a second there. DJ Trout to the inside lane of Nick Capiak. Side by side for the race lead now. Down to turn 3 and 4. 2 by 2 for the front 4 drivers. As it's going to be multi-groove racing here at Homestead. A lot of lanes to choose from. First 1.5 mile track on the season. And it's a lot different racing than we've seen all season long. It's the high downforce package. Here comes Nick Capiak to try to take back his race lead as DJ Trout leads lap number 1. Trout on the outside lane, get a good run off the exit. Will he side drop that 6 machine? No, he does not. He stays top, gives Trout plenty of room. But still, side by side for the race lead now. As Lance Llewellyn behind them, he's clear of any driver behind him. John Matthews, they were side by side before, but still side by side for the race lead. Nick Capiak lead lap 2. As with the high downforce package, a lot different than the next gen cars. You get a lot more draft and a lot more dirty air than you would in the next gen cars in these corners. But it's got a little bit more pack racing than you would normally see. As Nick Capiak tried to clear himself there, but DJ Trout got a good run off the exit, and he's got to clear the 6 machine, and DJ Trout takes this race lead. And finally clears that 6 machines. DJ Trout on the bottom lane. A lot of these drivers run the bottom. It's going to stay a little bit more tired than running the top. But as these tires wear, these guys aren't going to be having a long fuel run since it's only 50% fuel. But here comes behind them John Matthews inside of Johnny Knight in the 4th place position. As Homestead, once the tires wear out, rubber starts spilling on the top side. I think it's going to be a little bit more multi-groove than it is on these newer tires, because the new tires you can stick to the bottoms. Johnny Knight ends off John Matthews' attack on the inside lane as we single file out through most of the field. And it's just going to be about, I think, tire saving, managing your tires, managing that right front. That's really what his Gen 6s are all about. Since there's so much downforce, you don't really have to take care too much of your right rear, since the downforce kind of settles the rear and it's not too loose usually. But here comes Nick Capiak on the outside lane. He's going to get a good run off of turn 2. Can use that draft and momentum. He has a huge run off of turn 2. Here comes the inside. Nick Capiak looking to retake his race lead from pole position. And will he be able to slide drop up ahead of DJ Trout? He is clear of the 63 machine, but watch out for that run off of turn 4. DJ Trout gonna get his draft, but Nick Capiak gonna clear DJ Trout and take the race lead back. It's Rance Llewellyn on the inside lane. There's 1 car on the top side. That's David Anderson running on the top side of the 35 machine. Kyle Larson line, it seems like, right there. There's 1 car almost on the outside wall. I think that was Bobby Blowers on 34 machine. He qualified second by the start of the rear due to the penalty he got from last week's incident. But he's making his way up the field, up to 9th place for that 34 machine. As we single file throughout the front of this pack, as we're already 7 laps down. A bunch of laps to go, 93 to go still, so long way left in this race, and tire wear just starting to come into play here. There's David Anderson ripping the top side right now. Somehow him a lap ago. He's really running the outside line. There's 1 car on the outside wall. I think that might have been Rance Llewellyn. Saw some smoke off of turn 2, but I think 1 car might have been on the outside wall there. But it doesn't look like you have any right side damage in that 54 machine, so looks pretty clean. Might have just been a little bit of a neck coat incident right there. still. Big pack of cars, big gaggle of cars. I think it's top about 9 or so, 11 or so in this big pack. Here comes the top side. Here comes DJ Trout to the top side, and David Anderson. The top side still, as DJ Trout may have seen his rearview mirror. David Anderson was on that top side. He's trying to get some momentum on the top. As here comes David Anderson to the inside of 99. Here comes DJ Trout to the inside of Nick Capiak. As DJ Trout set him up off of 2, run the outside lane. Then gets his inside, maybe get some side dropped off of 4. Still side by side with the 6 machine. He's gonna side draft up the racetrack. No, doesn't. He goes up there. He's starting to side draft a little bit, but big gaggle of cars now for that first place position. 5 or so. Is Nick Capiak on the top side, really ripping it. He's gonna clear DJ Trout and stay in the race lead. As here comes every contact between him and Donnie Knight. Donnie Knight around the 2 machine. And hard into the inside wall. No caution. We stay green. There it is. Caution is out the first time tonight on lap 9. David Anderson, I think he might have got a bit loose off of turn 2 and came down in Donnie Knight, and around goes the 2 machine for the first caution of the night. We'll take a quick look at what happened there. And see if we can see a good view of this one from the chopper. David Anderson on that top side in the 35 machine. He was been ripping the wall the past 3 or 4 laps, and off of turn 2, looks like he just kind of drifted down the racetrack. May have got a little bit loose and hard hit the inside wall for that 2 machine. Definitely probably has to take a. He doesn't have a faster repair, so he's got to try to fix his damage there, and that's unfortunate for Donnie Knight. He was having a good run in 3rd place, and round he goes into the inside wall as. Back alive and see if these drivers come down pit lane. And looks like a few of them will. Quite a bit of them will. I don't know if they're going to be taking tires here, maybe just fuel topping off. They do have a stage on lap 40, so maybe trying to top off for to get to that. Get to lap 40, but 5 cars stay out. As Nick Capiak, our race leader, down pit lane, and see where he is. He's the number 1 stall, but see where he ends up as he blinks for a second there. Looks like Rodney Ayers is off of pit lane first. Looks like he took a splash and dash, and looks like Nick Capiak taking tires already in lap 10. Pretty early to be taking tires here. Just strategy there, as you only have 4 extra sets, so you don't really have a lot of sets to play with here. I mean, so you only have 3 more sets for 90 laps. I mean, I don't know. But most people did take tires. There are only 3 drivers electing to take no fuel. But 1 driver saw on pit lane. That's Donnie Knight fixing his damage there. Unfortunate for him there, and just an unfortunate incident for that 2 machine. You can see his front side is just completely destroyed. He hit the inside wall pretty hard. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat any competitive at all in tonight's race, but unfortunate for our 2 machine. As we'll go back up to the race leader here as DJ Trout stays out. David Anderson, John Matthews, Brian Earnhardt, and Brady Floyd have 5 drivers that stay out, and choose going to happen this time by as Trout chooses the outside lane and his pace car lights are off. It's going green this time by. And so it's going to be about 28 laps to go for the stage on lap 40, like I said. And I think that's why most of these guys pitted due to the stage trying to top off. I don't believe they can make on fuel to the stage for the laps. I think it's a little too much for these guys on a half a tank of fuel. So I think if you did pit there that last time, you could probably make it. And also taking tires, you have a good advantage to try to get some stage points here. I mean, Nick Capiak looked fast early on. DJ Trout looked fast. He had some good speed last week at Phoenix too. But it's a first 1.5 mile track of the season. A lot different than we've seen in the past 2 weeks. We super speedway and a short track kind of ish. But pace car is off. And green flag is out. DJ Trout with a great restart. Get a clear everyone. John Matthews on the inside lane. Can he slide himself up in front of David Anderson? No, they're staying side by side, going in turn 1 and 2. Matthews on the inside lane, gonna have the shortest lane around the racetrack, but Anderson really on that top side, making the momentum off of 2, and he's gonna clear John Matthews, and he has his sights set on DJ Trout for that race lead. The first car that pitted was Rodney Ayers, but he did not take tires there. The 17 machine is in 6th place. Oh, one car on the outside wall. I think it's Brian Earnhardt. Clips the outside wall there, but he keeps it clean. As it might be a little right front damage, and every aero damage is really important in these Gen 6 cars. Get a little bit of aero damage since they're so high downforce and so dependent on momentum-based racing. Any little drag that you have on these race cars affects them a lot. But Rance Llewellyn, he took tires there in 5th place. He's already up to 5th. Right there, Nick Capiak kind of got slowed down from the guys on the older tires as here comes Rance Llewellyn. You can just see those newer tires, even if they're 10 laps newer. As we have a battle for the race lead, DJ Trout side by side with David Anderson. Anderson on the inside lane. We've seen him work the outside lane. Let's see what we can do on this inside. As DJ Trout trying to hold off the charge from David Anderson. Anderson ripping the bottom there, looking for a slider, and he clears Trout. Trout looking for the crossover. Not gonna be able to do it. New race leader, David Anderson, that 35 machine. Here comes the guy with some guys with new tires. Rance Llewellyn in that 4th place, looking for that 3rd on the inside lane. Is Nick Hapiak in that 5th place position also, so he's making his way up the field too. But Rance Llewellyn looking for that race lead. He's side by side for the race lead ahead of him. He's gonna make 3 wide. No, he's gonna look to the bottom now. Side by side between him and David Anderson. DJ Trout on the inside lane looking for a slide job. Not gonna be able to do it. Up the racetrack he goes. He's attempting it. Oh, he does it. Barely getting enough room. But here comes Rance Llewellyn and Nick Capiak on the inside lane with these fresh tires. And so here comes Bobby Blowers also with these fresh tires. So fresh tires and older tires kind of mixing together on the inside lane. Easily be able to clear the guys on the outside with the newer tires. And now, Rance Llewellyn, new race leader. Here comes Nick Capiak for the race lead. Holster trying to get his race lead back. The inside lane he goes. Can he clear Rance Llewellyn? Not going to be able to off of 2. But here comes Bobby Blowers. He started 2nd. He had some speed in qualifying. Can he make a run for the race lead here on lap 17? Side by side still. Going 3 and 4 slider by Nick Capiak, looking for the crossover for Rance Llewellyn. Llewellyn to the inside lane, gonna use that side draft there. Capiak's gonna lead that lap. Here comes Llewellyn. And Bobby Blowers trying to make a move here. Any drivers make a mistake, he's there to pounce. As these 3 drivers are pulled away from the rest of the field. As a single file out for now, Nick Capiak has a pretty decent margin, about 3 car lengths over Rance Llewellyn. Can he hold on to this race lead for the stage? Still 22 laps to go. Drivers trying to settle in right now. As there's a pretty good battle back in the back there. I think it's John Matthews and David Anderson right there for that P8 position. Side by side, these guys have older tires. They stayed out. DJ Trout's ahead of him in 6th place, right ahead in front of Tristan Bayer. As Bayer trying to get by DJ Trout. As we have a little bit of smaller packs throughout the field mixed with older tires and newer tires. We have a 3-car pack out in front, 2-car pack in the middle, and a big pack of cars here with these older tires. That's John Matthews ripping the top side there, trying to get a good run on David Anderson. Here comes Rodney Ayers. He took fuel only there at 17 machine. As they're still side by side for 9th position. Here comes Ayers to the inside lane. As Anderson really ripping the top side. All race long, he's been ripping the top side, trying to make it work, and he's had some success there. But obviously, with these older tires, he just can't really compare with the newer tires in front of him. But the top 6 all paid for new tires last time by, or last caution, and see there, 11 on lap 11. All those guys pitted top 6, and 7th through 9th have not pitted, but everyone behind them took fuel only. Michael Morgan took tires there also, but he's in that 10th place position. Right now, Nick Capiak and the race lead, the top 3 are pulled away quite a bit from the rest of the field. As they're kind of just single filed out, taking it easy, I think just saving tires, riding it till the end of the stage, hoping that there's not a caution, because if you bunch these guys back up, they get really risky. Here comes Bobby Blowers. He's got a good run with the draft. Looking to the inside of Radiance or Llewellyn. Flowers, you get alongside him. Use some side draft here. 1 and 2. Outside lane, Llewellyn's going to get a good run. He's got Nick Hapiak's draft in front of him, though. Can he be able to clear the 34 machine? Not going to be able to go in 3 and 4. And still, side by side for second place. Llewellyn holding on strong for now, and he clears Bobby Blowers into turn 1 and 2. Not allowed Nick Hapiak to pull away from these guys. Now he has about a 5/10 gap over the rest of the field. Or over these two drivers, I should say. As mostly single out of the field, saw David Anderson and Michael Morgan using those new tires to try to get around. There's a big gaggle of cars right here. Single filed out, but David Anderson still using the top side as Michael Morgan got around these guys. As he has newer tires, he can save them quite well. He could maybe pick off a few more positions here as David Anderson really ripping the top into the outside lane wall. Outside wall for a split second there. I don't know if it slowed him down too much, but he keeps it clean. And here comes John Matthews trying to make a run for it, but not able to do anything. But David Anderson got a good run off of 2. Did not expect that, but right now, Lance Llewellyn and Bobby Blowers side by side for second. As Blowers trying to make that inside lane work. We saw it before. Lance Llewellyn just gets a good run off of the outside lane every time due to the momentum. Blowers got to do a slider. Here comes Llewellyn to the inside lane. He's going to stay behind Blowers and push him as these guys are about 7/10 back now. They lost another 2/10 to Nick Hapiak as these guys pitted 15 laps ago for these tires, so 15 laps ago to this stage also. Is behind them, Lane Myers and Jimmy Monick. Still single file throughout these guys. These guys have been about 2 seconds back from the race leader of Nick Hapiak, but they've been pretty steady, pretty stable, not too far off the lap times though. They're about actually Lane Myers was about a 10th quicker than Nick Hapiak last time by, but it's been about pretty even throughout the whole run so far. But the top 5 pretty even on race pace, and it was Bobby Blowers actually gained a lot of time that time on Nick Hapiak. He gained about 2/10 last time on the race leader. So we could be shaping up for a battle for the race lead. The pole sitter in second place, back to 1 and 2 again, 27 laps into this race. As you can see right there, Bobby Blowers closing the gap on the race leader right now. And that could, with the end of the stage in a few laps, about 13 laps to go for the stage, this could shape up for a stage finish. You guys were on board Bobby Blowers in that 34 machine. As Blowers, you can see, you can hear it off the throttle a lot there. Trying to stay out of Hapiak's dirty air that he's trying to give him. And just try not to follow the car in front of him. So he goes to the top side, just running the opposite lane of Nick Hapiak. I think that's really what his strategy is right now. As he's going to get a good run off of 2. He's going to close the gap within the car length right here down in turn 3 and 4. He's really closing the gap every single lap. Seems like Blowers is a lot better off of turn 2 than he is in turn 4 as Nick Hapiak goes to the top side now. So these guys are just trading lanes every single lap. I feel like every other lap they kind of go swap lanes. There's DJ Trout in the pit lane here. As a few drivers come, one driver off the pit lane, Brendan Stout, 1 lap down, so he pitted. And you could be seeing some pit stops here. Brian Earnhardt also in the pit lane. So those guys that stayed out on those oil tires, lap traffic get involved there as Blowers got a bad exit off of 4. That's going to allow Nick Hapiak to pull away and breathe a little bit with 10 to go in the stage. As a lot of drivers down pit lane, David Anderson, John Matthews, Brady Ford, all down pit lane. So, actually no, yeah, David Anderson down pit lane, and right there. He's gonna go to his box. It's Nick Hapiak and Bobby Blowers just lapping him right there. Now Blowers in the outside lane. He's gonna get a little dirty here, very close to the outside wall, and they both are in the outside lane there. And I don't know if you want to do that with those older these tires gonna age quite quickly if you are in that dirty air. But here comes Blowers. He doesn't really care too much. There's a stage coming soon. 8 laps to go in this stage. The inside lane he goes side by side for the race lead. Blowers not gonna be able to do it. Nick Hapiak leads this lap and would be a clear 1 and 2. Not gonna be able to do it. Blowers looking for the inside lane. May see a slider here. Hapiak has stayed to the top side. Blowers up the racetrack. Will we see a side draft here down the back straightaway? Not gonna be able to, as Nick Hapiak clears the 34 machines. Flowers slots himself back up in the second behind Nick Hapiak. Flowers back to the inside lane. Running that white line right there. Trying to get a good on off of 4. Side by side. Hapiak still just continuing to lead these laps here. Is not going to be able to do much if he can't do a little slide job here. I think he's going to plan to do that. He slides up the racetrack. Hapiak blinks out for a second there. As not going to be able to do it. Blowers off the gas big time there. Got really tight and Nick Hapiak pulls away big time. As now lap traffic ahead. As Michael Morgan hits pit lane. As Blowers still trying to get by Hapiak here. 5 laps to go on the stage. These top 2 have cleared themselves about 2 seconds over Rance Llewellyn. Flowers on the outside lane has a good run. He has some draft here. 5 laps to go on the stage. Down the back straightaway they go. Hapiak blinking out. Every time he blinks out, it doesn't allow Blowers to get a draft on the back straightaway. Usually iRacing's internet stuff. But here comes Blowers in the outside lane, gonna make it work. Side draft there with the 6 machine. So side by side in the turn 1 and 2. Can he stick it this time? He really sends it deep into 1 on the inside lane. He's clear for now. Can he slide up ahead? Watch for the crossover move here from Nick Hapiak. Hapiak does the inside lane, gets a good run off the exit. He's not gonna side draft though into turn 3 and 4. Will he pull off a slider? He's clear for now. Blowers slightly into the outside wall, but he's gonna get a run. He's gonna do another crossover. Let's see how they come. 3 laps to go for the stage. 1 point for each of these positions that they gained. So each position is 1 point as Blowers clears Hapiak, and I think he's gonna take the race lead away. And no challenge from Nick Hapiak on the inside lane. We have a new race leader. Bobby Blowers clears Nick Hapiak for this race lead. It's coming up 2 to go for the stages. Oh, Blowers in the outside wall. That's going to slow him down. Here comes Hapiak. He's running that middle lane as lap 39. Lap 40 is the stage. As Rance Llewellyn in the background there, but he's 1.8 seconds back. Not going to be able to do much for him. As Hapiak slightly losing a lot of time actually, as Flowers is going to take this stage one pretty convincingly unless something goes terribly wrong in these next few moments. He's still continuing to pull away from Happyack. Does lap 40 now this time. It's Jimmy Monick in 4th place, Tristan Bayer in 5th. Across line, there's the caution out for the stage as Bobby Blowers, your stage winner at Homestead. Won last week at Phoenix, and he wins the stage here. Good run for him so far. These past 2 races comes from the back to the front. And a lot of drivers lap down, but have to fill the lap down due to not pitting here. Lee Myers gonna get the lucky dog position. I'm guessing all these guys are gonna pit also, so caution is out here for the stage. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back before the green flag. We're back live here at Homestead Miami Speedway, and right after the stage there, Bobby Blowers gained the race lead and winning the stage over Nick Hapiak as Blowers leading the inside lane. Hapiak in third place behind him as about to go back green as Jimmy Monick in second place. Most positions gained so far in this race for that 94 machine. 12 positions up as he's starting P14, so great result for him so far. And he keep it up. I believe he got third in the stage. No, he got fourth in the stage, excuse me. But right now he's gonna restart second place on the outside lane. So here we go. Pace car taking a hard left corner in the turn in the pit lane. Flowers gonna lead us to green. And green flag is out. Bobby Blowers leers Monick on the outside lane. Ken Hapiak. Those two have been 1-2 most of this race. They qualified 1-2. And they've been 1-2 ever since basically halfway through the first stage, but basically the second half of this race starts now. These guys can go about 25. Oh, we have a big crash in the back as that's Brian Earnhardt around there and Leonard Williams around there. A bunch of lap traffic around trying to get their laps back. David Anderson around and big contact for that Leonard Williams of the 8 machine as around as we saw crashing off of turn 2 right there on the outside wall. As caution flies, big contact between everyone there. Let's see what happened. Off of turn 2 there. David Anderson ahead. See what happened ahead of him. Looks like it did. Looks like Leonard Williams in the outside lane ahead of them. Williams was 2 laps down. Let's see what happened. Looks like Leonard Williams just lost it and then overcorrected into the outside wall right in front of those drivers. And hard hit for David Anderson, Brand, all of those drivers. Hard hit for all of them. As Leonard Williams and David Anderson and Brian Earnhardt most likely out of tonight's race. That's very unfortunate for those few drivers. As both hit the inside wall pretty hard there, so I think their nights are most likely over. Let's go back up to the race lead here. We'll go, we'll interview our first place driver now, stage winner right now, Bobby Blowers.
On right side.
Hello, Bobby. You got this is the booth.
Hi.
So you get the stage win here tonight, and we went green for a little bit there, and you started in the back also. So how you kind of been everywhere in the front and the back. So how you work your way through the field, and how's your car different in clean air and dirty air and whatnot?
It is so much better in clean air, I won't lie. The start of that first stage, of that first 10 laps, I was really struggling with the dirty air. And I just didn't want to move to the top to get clean air because I knew it was going to be even worse on tires. So I was, in a way, kind of glad that caution came out 10 laps into the first stage. So I could take tires and work my way through the field that way with that kind of advantage. And it just worked out well enough that I could get up to the win there.
Yeah, and with your win at Phoenix last week and now you win here in the stage, how are you looking for the rest of this race and your momentum carrying forward?
Sorry, what was that?
With you running so well tonight and so far, going from the back to the front, how are you going to carry that momentum to the second half of this race?
Well, I'm going to do my best to keep it up front here and see where it shakes out.
Thank you for your time there, and congrats on your stage win.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Bobby Blowers in that 34 machine. And stage winner there. And Nick Hapiak got himself back up to second. He restarted third there. I think it was due to choose cone. Kind of put himself in the inside lane in the second row. But choose cone, I believe, happening this time by. So not halfway through the race yet, but probably about to go green on lap 50, I'm guessing. So once we go back green, it'll be halfway through the race right now. But Leonard Williams out of this race, I believe, and David Anderson out of this race. But Brian Earnhardt in the race still. He's pacing in the back there. So he fixed most of the damage. And one thing to note, Donnie Knight, he was involved in the lap 10 incident in 8th place right there. He's still in the racetrack in 8th place, being pretty competitive. So that's one thing to know for that 8 machine. I mean, a 2 machine right there, Donnie Knight. So I'm not sure how quick he is, but right in 8th place right now on the lead lap. Good for that car there. But again, Nick Capiak choosing the inside lane, and the outside riding airs puts himself in 4th place right there. So good game for him. But it seems like the outside lane hasn't been the best on these restarts here because they're so low horsepower that the inside lane on turn 1 and 2 is just so much quicker than the outside lane. But we'll see how that plays out for the outside as going green this time by. Since these guys pitted seven laps ago under caution, they probably go to about lap 70-ish, around there. 70 to 75, I would say. So they should be able to make it on a 1-stop for the rest of the race, if I had to guess, because I think it goes about 70, 75. That'll be about 25 laps on fuel. I think they can make it around 25, 30 laps on fuel. But it'll be close. And that's if we don't get another caution, which you never really know. But pace car is off. And Bobby Lauer is going to lead us back to the green. Second time in a row. And green flag is out. Blowers with another great restart. Nick Capiak, another great restart. Monik on the outside lane, trying to make it work. He saw himself behind Hapiak. He will. He's going to saw himself off in the 3rd place yet again. As here comes Rance Llewellyn. He's been up front, but he kind of lost the race leaders throughout that run there. Can he save his tires enough as side by side for his 3rd place position? Monik on the outside lane trying to hold off Rance Llewellyn. Llewellyn to the inside. Almost clear Monik, but not get quite. Monik could get run off of 4. As almost 3 wide. As Lynch Llewellyn does not want to give Donnie Knight that inside lane, but Knight to the inside lane forces himself 3 wide now to the bottom. Donnie Knight involved in that lap 10 incident. He's up in 5th place, looking for that 3rd place position. Great comeback from that 2 machine. As he's side by side, he clears himself and he's gonna slide himself behind Rance Llewellyn. Here comes Ayers to the outside lane. As here comes DJ Trout to the outside lane. He was up front early in this race, but bad pitch strategy for him. But he finds himself 1 lap down still. But he's fighting for that lucky dog position. Side by side riding errors, and Monik to clear Llewellyn. Llewellyn gets a bit loose on the inside lane there, as Blauer is pulling away quite a bit from the rest of the field, as he's about 3.5 tenths lead over Nick Capiak. As here comes Monik, he's trying to make that run on the 6 machines. These guys only have 2 more tire sets left. Nick Capiak and Bobby Blowers and a few other drivers only have 2 more tire sets left, so about 47 laps to go, and they only have 2 sets of tires. I mean, you have to pit at least 1 more time, so you only have 1 extra real tire set if we have a late race caution or even a caution in the next 5 or 6 laps or so. But right now, single file for the top 5 lane, but here comes Llewellyn to the inside lane of Monik, trying to get by this 94. He's been trying to get around Monik a few times so far on this restart. There's a 3 wide in the back there. I think it's for Lane Myers over there and Tristan Bayer. Is there 3 wide for a second there as at 45 of Brendan Stout. He's 1 lap down, so he's not for position, but he's trying to get up to DJ Trout for that lucky dog position. As these guys are really pack racing so far with these newer tires. But once these tires were, we saw last time his airs got really loose into turn 3 and 4. But we saw last time they kind of spread out quite a bit once these tires wear. But Llewellyn on the inside lane gonna get trapped to the inside, and here comes Ayers to the outside lane. And he might get freight trained to the back there. As here comes Donnie Knight trying to get up to that 5th place position. As Ayers to the outside lane for that 3rd place position. He's making a run late here on the outside lanes. Oh, gotta get the door closed on him by Monik. It's Monik trying to look to the outside lane for Nick Capiak. These guys are just saving tires, taking it easy, trying to conserve their tires. As we talked to Bobby Blowers during the caution. He was just trying to save his tires throughout the run here, and especially in the dirty air. You just want to kind of keep your right front clean and not get too worn out. But Happy doing a good job of staying that second place position. Not letting Blowers get away too far, but with the draft with the big spoilers, you can really, it's hard to pull away from the rest of the field on newer tires. Once these tires were, like I said, it's a little bit easier to pull away since you have that tire advantage over the rest of the field. There comes Donnie Net to the inside as Deer Trout 1 lap down, trying to make it 3 wide to the bottom. He's going to back out of it, but Donnie Net to the inside of Rodney Ayers. This Ayers almost in the outside wall there, but Donnie Net's going to clear that 17 machine as here comes Monick to the inside of Happy Act. Jimmy Monick backs out of it, but here comes Happy Act. He had a real good run off 3 and 4. He's going to try to take the race lead from Bobby Blowers. Outside lane goes Happy Act. And we have a challenge for the race lead side by side in turn 1 and 2. Happy Act blinks out for a second there. There's still side by side Happy Act on the outside lane there. Gonna try to clear Blowers off of turn 2. Still side by side, Blowers slots himself on the second. And we have a new race leader, Nick Capiak, up to the race lead yet again. It's been about 9 or so laps since we went back green. These tires are going to be start wearing these next 10 or so laps. And we're going to see some who has saved their tires the best and who has not. But Bobby Blowers trying to get his race lead back. He talked about that clean air and dirty air. And he really liked that clean air. Will he try to make an aggressive move to try to get that back? But here comes Monick to the outside lane trying to make something work there. Monick a good run off of 4. Up the racetrack. Llewellyn goes almost into the 94. I think he may have tagged his left rear, but they stay clean so far. They stay straight. As here comes G.A. Trout trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, maybe. Try to get up in front of those race leaders, but he's side by side with our 4th place driver, Rance Llewellyn. As that's really going to separate these guys again, and the top 3 pulling away. Monick on the outside lane trying to get that clean air. The diamond the corner to the inside lane now. We have 40 laps to go this time by. Monick to the inside lane, gonna try side drop Blowers. Looking for that 2nd place position. He's gonna get dirty air though from Nick Capiak though. And up the racetrack he goes, but here comes Blowers to the outside lane. He has cleaner. Look for the crossover. There he goes to the inside lane. Challenge to the race lead now. Flowers is going to be able to clear Happy Act in turn 3 and 4, and we have a new race leader back in front. Bobby Blowers, he goes. As Blowers takes the race lead back from Happy Act. These two have been battling all night long. Ever since basically lap 25. Then the 1-2 drivers qualified 1st and 2nd have been one 1st and 2nd all night long. But Jimmy Monick's still hanging on strong there. He's only about a car length or 2 back from Happy Act. And he had some momentum. He tried to get by Blowers a few laps ago. Not able to, but Lance Llewellyn in the back there in 4th place. He's had some, he's been able to challenge our race leaders quite a bit, but here comes Nick Capiak. He looked in the inside lane for a second there, but I don't think he made anything work there. We have 2 different packs here. One with, as here comes Happy Act to the inside lane now of Blowers. Blowers, I think, almost had the outside wall there. Very close to running outside lane there. And he's going to be able to clear Happy Act off of 4. So every time Happy Act tries to get to, I think the outside lane is definitely the preferred lane here to the fins, because it's hard to be able to clear the guy on the inside lane. When they're side by side, and when Monick gets really loose his lane, Myers down pit lane at 9th place position, but he was 1 lap down, I believe. No, he was on the lead lap actually, so he goes down pit lane. Also, a few other drivers, so Lyndon Williams, Brendan Stout on pit lane. So pit stops happening very early on so far, and Right now, these top two have pulled away now from Monik, as Monik kind of lost a lot of time there. As Blauer's almost in the outside wall. We saw Sparks there. And he's got his right rear little shot there. He got a little tagged right rear corner. Oh, contact! Blauer's into Happy Eye, as Happy Eye has to save it. Will save it out of 6 machine. Up the racetrack he goes. And he's still side by side with Blauer's. As this go rally in everyone else, Monica come into the play, and Ransomwell and Johnny Knight. He wrecked on lap 10. He's up to 5th place, and he's looking for this race lead pretty soon. As you can see, those 3 drivers behind these guys. If these drivers start, if Bobby Blowers and Nick Hapiak still continue to race this hard, they can allow all these other drivers to pull together and make it a 5-car battle for the race lead. But they're battling behind him. Monick trying to hold off Llewellyn, as the top 2 trying to pull away another gap from these drivers. Side by side for 3rd place, side by side for the race lead also. Hapiak again on the inside lane. Can he do anything this time? Looking for a slide job. I think the slide job is really the only way you can able to pass on the inside. Does he have enough momentum? He looks for a slide job. Almost gets in the Blowers. Blowers almost got into him. But Blowers doesn't use the crossover, actually. He stays behind. But he's going to go to the inside lane on turn 3 and 4. As pit stops are going to probably be happening here pretty soon. As these guys have about 25 lap since their last pit stop in their caution. But now 2-car battle for the race lead. Could be 5 here shortly. As Ranch Llewellyn got by Jimmy Monick and Donnie Knight up to 4th place also. He's side by side with Ranch Llewellyn too. Blowers not able to do anything there on Nick Hapiak. Like I said, I think the only way you can really pass on the inside lane is do a slide job like Nick Hapiak did. But the outside lane is just so powerful with the being able to get the runs off the exits there. Off of 4 and off of 2. You can just look at them really easily. But side by side for 3rd behind him. Here comes Donnie Knight in the inside lane. What a surprise there. I mean, I've talked about this earlier. Donnie Knight, he hit the inside wall really hard on lap 10. He's back up to 3rd place now. He's challenging for his race lead here with about 30 laps to go. Impressive run for that 2 machine there. Flowers still trying to make that inside lane work. Not able to do much though, I don't think, but the outside lane just such a good, gets 2 good runs off of the exits to the corners. I think Blowers has to use a bit of side draft here. Actually, Nick Hapiak gives him the outside lane. Blowers only uses the middle though. Doesn't use the very top side though. Is he gonna give a good run out? 2, not gonna be able to do much. He peeks the inside, gotta think the better of it. Hapiak again to the inside lane. Here comes Donnie Knight closing the gap here. In the 2-car, take the race lead here with 30 laps to go. He's really quick right now. He's about a 10th quicker than our race leader, or Bobby Blowers, I should say, with the same lap time as Nick Hapiak. But he's really closed the gap on these front 2 drivers. Side by side for the race lead yet again. Flowers with a better exit though. He could be able to side draft Hapiak here if he wants to. Not going to, but he's side by side in 1 and 2. We haven't seen this in a while. As Blowers had a good exit off of 4. He's side by side. Will he be able to clear Hapiak off of 2? Not gonna be able to do so. Will he side draft to 6 machine here? No, but here comes Donnie Knight. He's going to look to the outside lane for a 2nd place position. Donnie Knight up to 2nd. Can he get by Bobby Blowers? Blowers really sitting it inside. Contact. Up the racetrack. Knight goes. And that's going to allow Hapiak to pull away. 3/10 now. 4-car lengths ahead. And Flowers and Donnie Knight close back the gap on Hapiak. Pit stop's also coming up here shortly. As last lap, we had contact between Blowers and Knight. Blowers really sent it in 3 and 4. I don't think you really want to he didn't want to give that position to Knight there. He thought he was in a great spot here in second place with about 25 laps to go. As here comes Blowers, he had a good run with the draft there. He's going to look to the inside, up the racetrack. Almost contact between him and Happyak. Watch out for Donnie Knight. These two guys make contact. Knight is right there to pounce. He's going to draft from Happyak on the outside lane. Happyak clears Blowers. Here comes Knight. He gave Happyak a big shove on the turn 3 and 4. And Blowers hold off the 2 machine. Knight on the outside lane, get a good run. He's going to get the draft from Happyak also. He might be able to clear Blowers in the turn 1 and 2, and he does so. Up the second goes Donnie Knight. Donnie Knight he's going to get a good run off of 2. He's side by side with Happyak now on the outside lane. Can he take the race lead? Side by side. Here comes Blowers making it 3 wide up top possibly. Really ripping the outside lane. As Happyak dives down the pit lane now. There's a few other drivers behind him down pit lane. Brady Floyd also down pit lane. Happyak down pit lane. And Brance Llewellyn down pit lane as new race leader Donnie Knight. 25 laps to go. He crashed in lap 10. He takes the race lead. Watch for these 2 drivers also make pit stops. Here comes Lane Myers. He pitted about 11 laps ago. He's going to try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. But he's on the inside lane. These drivers cannot pit. These race leaders cannot pit this time. And they stay out an extra lap. Each lap they stay out. That allows Nick Happyak to close the gap here on these drivers. He's got fresher tires, and tire-wise, about 2 seconds slower than they are on a normally. So, is he right there? Last lap, the lap they pit on Donnie Knight, pit on 47, and Nick Happyak, Rance Llewellyn pit on 76. So it's about a 30 lap difference between these drivers. And these drivers on pit lane. Blowers sideways, almost in the Knight as Blowers. Did he get slowed down in time? That's going to be interesting. I don't know if the 34 machine, he got a really good pit road entry though, as these 2 drivers are race leaders down pit lane. Did Blowers get speeding, or did Knight get speeding, or at all? We'll see as they enter the pit boxes here. No, they did not get speeding. Good for those guys. As off the pit lane to go. Lane Myers is in the race lead, but where is Nick Happyak though? As he's going to be, that's Myers right there. Happyak. Here, there's Blowers on the inside lane. He's going to clear them both easily as he takes his race lead back. But these guys have about 2 lap fresher tires, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a big difference, though, from personal experience. As Rance Llewellyn side by side with Bobby Blowers. Blowers brings out for a second there, but Rance Llewellyn trying to hang tough as he gets up the racetrack though a little bit. As Blowers really on this right rear quarter panel, as he's really bad on this 54 machine, trying to get up to 3rd place. This lap traffic ahead 3 wide for a second. Blowers on the outside lane. Happyak giving draft to that 54 machine roll well in there, but it's gonna lose a lot of time to Blowers. Blowers closing the gap on the Happyak right there. The outside lane Blowers goes. As we have a 3-car battle for the race lead. Lane Myers is in the race lead right now, but he'll cycle out once he pits here in about 20 or so laps. About 15 or so laps, I mean. But defending well is Nick Happyak on the inside lane. But we've seen many times the outside lane is the preferred lane to pass and defend. But here comes Lance Llewellyn into the outside lane also. Happyak 3 wide now. But Bobby Blowers takes 2nd place. And in a few laps here, it will be the race lead shortly. 20 laps to go here. Laymeier's in the race lead, but like I said, these drivers closing the gap big time on that 28 machine. Also, he has to pit one more time. So right now, Bobby Blowers would be would inherit the race lead if there's no caution. You can see the gap. He's gained about a second a second a lap on Lane Myers. So in about 3 or 4 laps, Bobby Blowers should regain the race lead on Lane Myers. As Bobby Blowers really pulling away from Rance Llewellyn and Nick Hapiak. And I said those 2-lap fresher tires doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it does make a big difference. As you can see, here comes Donnie Knight. He's gonna try to get by Nick Hapiak there. He had some long run speed there, so he can still challenge Bobby Blowers. We still about 17 laps to go in this race, so we still have time for Donnie Knight to maybe have a late risk charge here on Bobby Blowers. He's about a second back from the 34 machine as Blowers really closing the gap on the 28 machine. How well will Lane Myers defend his race lead, or will he defend at all? Or he's just praying for a caution? Because if the caution comes out, I'm guessing all these guys will probably pit here with probably restart with about 12 laps to go. But here comes Bobby Blowers to the inside lane. He goes. Myers doesn't defend at all. Behind them, Donnie Knight to the inside of Rance Llewellyn. Donnie Knight clears the 54 machine. Yes, he does. And back to the race goes Bobby Blowers. Lane Myers trying to hang on, trying to hope for a caution here. As he's in second place right now ahead of these drivers. As Donnie Knight trying to close the gap from him and Bobby Blowers. As Lane Myers kind of got in the way there, he's going to lose a little bit of time. Now it's going to take it 3 wide now for second. As here comes Rance Llewellyn making an aggressive move to the inside lane. Myers backs out of it. Donnie now in the outside lane. He's probably going to be able to clear Rance Llewellyn off of 4. But he just lost about half a second to Bobby Blowers as Blowers continues to pull away from these drivers behind him. Right now, Jim Millick, the biggest gainer right now, but he was battling that second place position, third place position for a while, but he just kind of fell back a little bit there. Probably didn't have a best pit stop there, and also yeah, just kind of struggled a little bit on the longer run, but he had he could get a late race caution. He was definitely really good on the shorter run. He has a chance to maybe do something here. We're side by side for that third place position, Nick Hapiak and Rance Llewellyn. And it's just so crazy how 2 laps tires makes this big of a difference, as Donnie Knight and Bobby Blowers are so much quicker than Nick Hapiak and Rance Llewellyn, even though these drivers are really quick also on their when they're all equal tires, but 2 laps difference and they're about 2/10 slower each lap. So it just shows how big of tire strategy plays in the factor here. And also the move of the race, Bobby Blowers down pit lane, passing Donnie Knight. That has to be the move of the race so far, as that gets him the race lead away from Donnie Knight, and that allowed him to gain a lot of time. He had about a 0.6 seconds better pit stop, about 0.5 I should say, better pit stop than Donnie Knight, which allowed him to take the race lead. And right now with 12 laps to go, is about 1.5 second gap on the second place driver, and I just don't know if Donnie has enough in him to have a late race charge and try to get back up to the race lead. Now Bobby Blauer is continuing to lead this race. 1.3 seconds is the gap. Flowers right now sits 10th in the points, but I mean, he's about 33 points behind Casey Wygen, which also he's not in this race, but due to probably a good reason, as he had a baby today. I'm pretty sure in Discord he talked about that, so he missed points that are missing tonight's race. So that's gonna be shake up the points a little bit here. Also, Cole Snyder not in this race, who's second in the points. So, and a lot of people missing this race. Kevin Winker being one of them. But so I don't know exactly how it's gonna play out in the point situation. But right now we're looking at John Matthews and Michael Morgan. Actually, that's Lane Myers actually. But Lane Myers and John Matthews. Myers did come out pit lane though 1 lap ago, so he's gonna be 1 lap down. He's gonna try to get up to DJ Trout. And if we do have a late race caution, Trout would be the lucky dog. He was really quick there. He was up front early in this race, and he has some good front run speed there. As go back out in front. But Donnie Knight closing the gap just a bit, about half a tenth a lap, He's adding a little bit more if he wants a chance at this race lead. He probably has to be within half a second to get some draft from Bobby Blowers. We'll see where he is this time by. 7 laps to go. This time by, he's a tenth quicker, so he is closing the gap ever so slightly each lap. So you can continue this pace. He can be there at the end there. Because once he gets closer, he'll get some draft, but also he'll get some dirty air. But I'll go on board the 2 machine of Donnie Knight. Last time by, he was another half a tenth quicker. And he do something here late in this race. Coming to 5.5 laps to go. Gap down to about a second. It's going to be really tough here as he loses about half a tenth down. Going on the back straightaway, comes to the line. Let's see where he is. He gained some of that back there in the second half of the lap there. But 5 laps to go. The gap down under a tenth now. Can Donnie Knight close the gap enough to maybe make Bobby Blowers make a mistake? The big gaggle of cars here. Jimmy Monick right there, getting some lap traffic in front behind him. But he's trying to chase down Rance Llewellyn ahead of him. And he's a little bit quicker, about 2 tenths quicker last time by. Llewellyn's struggling with those older tires. As we have the battle for 4th place right there. There's DJ Trout. He's trying to get his lucky dog, but update on Donnie Knight, they're in exactly the same lap time as him and Bobby Blowers. So unless Blowers makes a mistake, Donnie Knight probably just gonna sell himself in the 2nd place with 4 laps to go. But DJ Trout making his way up the field. He's still 1 lap down, so this isn't a battle for the position. But in front of him is Rance Llewellyn. Behind him is Jimmy Monick. As those 2 drivers were bound for position, but about half a tenth from each other. But Donnie Knight having himself a night, man. I mean, I said this before. He crashed on lap 10. I thought he was done, honestly. I thought his race was over. I think him and David Anderson made contact off of turn 2. And hard into the inside wall, Donnie Knight went. But he's up to 2nd now. He bowed his way through the field. And I did not expect him to be in this position late in this race. And had a chance at the win here before the pit stops happen. But 2 laps to go. About a second between these drivers. Doesn't look like Knight's going to be able to do much here. Unless we have a late race caution in the next 20 or so seconds. But Bobby Blowers, great night for him. 1 last week at Phoenix. He's looking to go back-to-back here at Homestead. as we were battle for 4th place right now. Rance Llewellyn as Bobby Knight gonna take the white flag this time by. Rance Llewellyn and Joey Monek side by side for 4th. White flag in there this time by. This is about 4th place right here. These two drivers going through 1 and 2. Llewellyn on the inside lane, Monek behind him. But Blowers gonna come off of turn 4 as a battle for 4th place behind him as Knight into the outside lane. Outside wall, but Blowers off of turn 4. Gonna take the win back to back at Homestead. As they're side by side for 4th behind him, it's gonna be Llewellyn gonna stay in that 4th place position. But Bobby Blowers, your race winner here tonight at Homestead. Won last week at Phoenix in dramatic fashion, but tonight puts on a great show going back from the back to the front and wins the stage and wins the race. Congratulatory bumps right there from your race winner. As he's burnt down on the front straightaway here at Homestead. He blows the engine there, and we'll be right back and we'll speak to our top 3 drivers right after this. Hello, everyone. We are back here at Homestead, Miami. We're going to be interviewing our top 3 drivers. And the first driver is going to be Bobby Blowers. Goes back to back here at Phoenix and now Homestead. Hello, Bobby. You have a copy?
Yep, sure do.
Talked to you during the stage, or the caution after the stage, and went green the whole rest of the way. You had a very interesting pit stop pass there on the pit lane. Talk us through that one. That's really what got you this race win.
Yeah. I not gonna lie, I was gonna send it regardless there, but turns out that Donnie had a little moment and locked up a little bit too, and I think that helped some as well. But regardless there, I was just going to put it in as hard as I could and hope I made pit speed.
Yeah, I thought for a second there you kind of spun a pit lane, but you got down in time, 50 miles per hour. But those last few laps, Donnie was closing the gap just a little bit. Walk us through how you kind of manage your tires and manage your pace and not let him get in your head.
Uh, well, to start with, I was trying to get around the 6 and 54 as quick as I could there and try to get in as clean air as possible. And then from there, I was just saving a little bit, but I wasn't saving probably enough. If there was another couple more laps, Donnie was probably going to get around me because he was coming for sure. Props to him for that.
Yeah, you go back to back first here at Phoenix last week and now at Homestead. Anyone you'd like to rank for tonight's one?
Yeah, the entirety of PBR Racing, Blink Designs, that's me. Hit me up if you want an iRacing paint. And big shout out to Pacey Wygant and his wife for the birth of their child this past, or yeah, it was overnight this past night. Yeah,
Yep, and congrats on your win here tonight at Homestead.
yeah, thank you.
As Bobby Blowers on himself off in first place and back to back, like I said last week at Phoenix and now at Homestead. We're gonna be bringing in our second place driver of Johnny Knight. Go. And we'll bring him into the booth here. Oh, Johnny, you got a copy?
Dude, what up?
Round yourself on the second place there, and what a comeback you had. Crashing lap 10 right there, hard on the inside wall. Somehow you make the comeback from the back to the front and had a chance late to win this race. Talk us through your night.
Well, after the crash, I was surprised I didn't get a meatball or anything like that. I did have 2.5 minutes worth of fixes though, but uh, I got it fixed up, and uh, I like to think that we got it back in shape, but I feel like I just needed a little more to be able to get to the 34 quicker or more laps, because I think I was closing the gap, but it was just too late in the race, and I had that nose damage.
Yeah, we talked to Bobby about the pit road pass there. What could you think you've done differently going the pit lane there? That's really what the move of the race was and the difference between you and him. That
Oh,
move on the pit lane.
yeah, I wish I would have remembered to increase my brake bias for pit stop. Uh, I left it in race mode and about junked myself trying to get down into pit road. So that's what I could have done different there.
Well, you still a great comeback from you, getting second place here tonight. Anyone you like to thank for tonight's run?
Yeah, I want to obviously the league owner, um, and the person who even has me on the track, NJB Designs. They got their paint scheme on the car, and they're funding any type of track time I have with that car, they fund it. So NJB Designs all the way.
Well, congrats on your second place run here tonight at Homestead.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. It was Donnie Knight in that third place or second place position. What a comeback from him, getting wrecked on lap 10 and getting himself second here tonight at Homestead. We'll bring in our third place driver, Nick Hapiak. He qualified on pole position and he led laps early and he had a chance to win this race, but just interesting pitch strategy from him as he pitted a little earlier, but we'll bring him into the booth here. Oh, Nick, you got a copy? Hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, rounding yourself off in the third place here tonight at Homestead. You paid a little earlier than Bobby Blowers and Donnie Knight. What was your pitch strategy there? And do you think in the end that was probably the best you could have done, or you think if you would have done the same pitch strategy as you could have had a chance to win this race?
Um, I don't know if I don't know exactly how many laps later they pitted than me, but when I pitted, I had like .9 laps left. So I pretty much stretched it as far as I could. I don't know if I was just pushing it a little bit harder than them the run before or not. I would have liked to have been able to go at least one more lap because I think that did potentially have or make a difference in that last run. But I was just kind of focusing on saving my tires and try to make it to the end and hopefully be able to give him a run. But I kind of got checked up behind the 28 when we were trying to get him around them, get around him there. I know he was on a different strategy, and when I did, I really slid the nose, so I had to check up way more than I thought. And pretty much after that is I could already feel it that the fronts were gone, and I kind of just settled in and pretty much accepted the third place. But it was, I mean, overall, I don't think I really had the long run speed that the 34 and the 2 had tonight. I knew that I had to try to jump them in the pits and just hope that I could hold them off. But they were definitely the best on the long run.
Yeah, you still had a good run here in third place. Ran top three basically all night long. Anyone you thank for tonight's run?
Oh, Rodney for putting it on. I want to say congrats to Pacey Wygent. They just had their baby today. Didn't get to see him on the track, but he's out being a dad. So congrats to them, and Juicy Spider Gaming for Rodney and Michael Morgan and myself. We've been working really hard trying to get some graphics together, but you guys in the booth and ready for next week.
Yep, and good job on that third place finish tonight. And yep,
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
yep, you too. As that was Nick Hapiak in a third place position. As that's gonna round it out for tonight's race at Homestead. As well, the race that was 100 laps, 150 miles, and I think we had 4 cautions. If I think we had one up 10 stage. No, we had 3 cautions, 3 or 4, something like that. But that's gonna round it out tonight. As we take a quick look at your race results here after 100 laps at Homestead. Bobby Blowers, your race winner. Donnie Knight second, and Nick Hapiak third. Rance Sewell in fourth. Jimmy Monick fifth. Ronnie Ayers sixth. Brady Ford seventh. Tristan Bayer eighth. DJ Trout ninth. And Lane Myers rounding out your top 10. And John Matthews 11th. Michael Morgan 12th. Brendan Stout 13th. Brian Earnhardt 14th. Leonard Williams 15th. The first car out of the race. David Anderson 16th. And Frank Hughes did not complete a lap in 17th place. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday, Tuesday nights, Bristol and the Top Tier Racing League there. And I think we have 2 weeks off, I believe, for the Bolt Racing League. When I looked at it. So we come back here, it will be the LA Coliseum on July 13th. So yeah, we have 2 weeks off. So for 4th of July, I'm guessing weeks. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks in LA, back in the West Coast. You know, went from Phoenix to Homestead, now to LA. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys later.